Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here to Kevin Jackson Show. So we're talking about flakes. Flakes on the left. That's what they are. They're all flakes. California, the land, fruits, nuts, and fairies. Arizona's got flaky senators, including one named Flake. I could go on. Forever. It's just crazy to watch the world go by with the level of lunacy. I was having a conversation with a guy. I wrote a piece, and I alluded. I said, yeah, so what? I'm going to get called Uncle Tom. And I said, a gross misuse of the term. And a guy wrote me a note, and he says, Kevin, he goes, well, you know what? Let me read the note, because I don't want to mischaracterize it. I think we have that note. So here's what he says. I grew up in Detroit hearing this term. It was and is synonymous with a Benedict Arnold, a traitor, a turncoat, etc. I never thought to question its meaning. After all, everyone used it in the same context. So a few years ago, I decided to learn more about this character, and he's speaking of Uncle Tom. So he says, so I read the book. I was amazed at the mischaracterization of this character in common use. I should think that the black community would embrace this character as an example of a strong role model. However, now when I hear the term, I look at how it's being applied and realize that, ironically, the person being called an Uncle Tom is actually a strong black role model that is being mischaracterized because of some sort of political correctness. The same way the fictional character was when the story was written. Yet political opinion seems to be more important than facts. Another great article. Thanks for pointing this out. It was sent to me by a guy named Steve. And Steve, here's what I want to say, and I want to say this to the audience, the radio audience. The idea that black people have gone without reading Harriet Beecher Stowe's novel, Uncle Tom's Cabin, and understanding that this man was a protector of blacks, that he is actually the protagonist in the film, the good guy, and they will blatantly use this term in reference to supposed bad people, like myself, and not even understanding that it is a compliment, shows you exactly where we are in this nation. See, this is upside down. To call me an Uncle Tom is to flatter me, to say, Kevin, you're willing to sacrifice your own life to protect the others. And that's why every time they do it, I chuckle to myself and go, yeah, proud Uncle Tom. Proud Uncle Tom. But what's most scary is this. Black folks don't bother to research and find out what it's all about and correct. They can just be told something. This is a bad thing. Uncle Tom. Oh, here, Uncle Tom. Oh, is that a bad? Yeah, oh yeah, he'll tell you Uncle Tom over there. Okay, and so I shouldn't associate with him. No, he's an Uncle Tom. Because they're too lazy to read the stinking book and understand what's going on. And this is what the left relies on. They rely on that level of ignorance.
Since I am black, I guess I should start off with something that's kind of true about myself that deals with black people, right? There's this one time I got an email sent to me, right? And I didn't know what to do with this email. I looked at it, and it's because the subject of this email said, blacks don't read. And I was really confused. I was like, okay, but like, what is this really saying? Like, is this saying black people are prone to not reading things? Or is it saying, if you're a black person, don't read this? This is gonna be super racist. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. How would this email know if I'm black or not? I don't understand. So I went to one of my friend's house who is not African American, and I opened it on his thing, and it actually turned out to be the first thought. It was actually like this 5-page article talking about how black people don't read things. Like if they do read it, they just skim over something, or sometimes they'll just bypass it or whatever. I mean, that's what my friend told me. Like, I didn't read it.
That's why I like that clip. That clip illustrates the comedy illustrates. That's why I love comedy too, by the way, is it showcases things that people are afraid to say, but will say because they can put it into some sort of a contextual thing that makes people chuckle about it. But it's the truth. There's an old saying, if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. And the irony is this, and I've talked about this before, and many of you know this. Now, this may be a trick of old people just in general, but it's certainly a truism of old black folks. My grandmother would put money, if she had money that she wanted hidden from the kids, she'd put it in the books, typically in the Bible. Now, you really want to draw home the point that you know somebody is not reading a good book. If somebody's looking to steal from you, you say, okay, just put those money, that the fold, whatever, these fresh dollar bills or whatever she might have in the Bible. Nobody's going to touch it. There's this show. You ever watch this show called Storage Wars? There was a girl who got a locker, and it was with books in it, and it was a box of books amongst other things. And the girl, they were like, "Oh, it's a bust." And the girl, who is a couple, Brandy and Jared, and Brandy goes, "No, let me have those books." And she took the books and she started fanning the pages out of some of them, and money was coming out. Money started falling out. I don't know how much they got, but Brandy knew enough to know, don't just dismiss these books. People hide money in those books. Now, the irony of it is, if they'd done any research, you don't know who the lockers belong to. They just cut the lock and the show begins. But I will guarantee you, the person who owned that locker was somebody black. They lost the locker, passed away, kids couldn't afford to get it out, whatever. And the person who owned the locker had hidden money in those books and forgot to get it when they put it in there. It was like a little mini savings account. My great-grandfather would hide money in cans around the house. And I remember one time he forgot where he hid it. He hid a can. And he had me out there. I was there one summer. And he's like, "Buck, get your shovel, and you got to help me dig." And we were looking for an old can. We finally found it. Dug up half the yard. No, that's not true. We dug up a lot of the yard, but not half of it. Anyway, I don't know why I started the show with this, but hey, hope you're having fun. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. We'll be back in just a bit, folks. Lots to talk about. I promise you're going to have a good time.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.
Beth Cook Moranville, author of Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope.
Hope, that wonderful, wonderful 4-letter word that you may feel completely out of. I wrote this book to give you great hope. It's not too late. If fetal position is an all too familiar place for you, I understand. If the next 60 seconds are too long, this book is for you. Wherever you are right now, whether you're dealing with divorce or death or sickness, take hope. You are going to make it through this pain. Don't roll your eyes. I've walked this road and I know it. The best is yet to come.
Closer Than Your Breath, a book of hope from author and speaker Beth Cook Moranville, can be found on Amazon.com or Kindle.com. For more information, visit closerthanyourBreath.com or on Facebook at Closer Than Your Breath.